What is going down? It's DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another one. I did attempt to stream earlier, but I got a phone call, so the phone call interrupted the stream. So I deleted that one, and I just thought we'd redo it again, but I'm gonna do it a bit different this time. So, I'm gonna tell you all about yesterday. So, yesterday was a very interesting day for me, and something happened that I never in a million years expected would ever happen. And I had a really good Saturday, apart from a little bit of travel issues. But apart from that, we was all fine and dandy. We was all gravy. So, yeah, there's a bit of a story about how yesterday came about. So a couple of weeks ago, I was browsing on Facebook, and there's a page and a brand called Bounce Zone online, and they essentially they record like Bounce Zone volumes, and essentially, cut the story short, they record these like big sessions and they go live at the same time, and there's loads of DJs that mix bounce music. There's loads of MCs that just go absolutely tear up the mic. And anyway, cut the story short, they put a post up on Facebook, and it said, if like and share the post, and we'll select somebody at random, and they'll get like a free entry, and they'll come down. They can come down to the event, and they can bring like a plus one, and they can basically watch this kind of like behind the scenes of this bounce zone getting recorded. So me being me, just browsing and scrolling, get a like and a share. And I'm not always a big person for winning things. I don't often win competitions, so I didn't really expect to win. I only sort of briefly liked and shared something. I wasn't really too aware what was going on. And I just had a little bit of an idea what it was, and just, oh, I'll give it a like and a share for them. And anyway, they selected me as a winner, and they announced it really late. So they said like on Thursday or something, like, oh, you've been selected as the winner. Come down to Stockport on Saturday, and get free entry, and you'll get a guest list with one of your friends to come. And at the time, it was a little bit short notice to really go there and plan it. And I thought, oh, it's quite far away, and I thought it was a lot further than it was. And I looked on the maps, and it actually wasn't too far. So I had a look at the trains and thought it might make a nice little Saturday actually to go down and see it. But the trains were having some form of like issues, and some of the services was like a replacement bus, and I just thought, forget that. I aren't gonna mess around. So I had a little ask about if I could get a lift and stuff. And some people weren't really interested, or said like they was busy and can't afford it. So I thought, all right, maybe I'll just have to give it a swing. And then Saturday came, and I woke up and I was like, what am I going to do with my Saturday? And in the back of my mind, I was kind of like I wanted to go. Like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like I'd like to go if I could, like if only there was a way I could go. And I could have gone on the trains and the replacement bus services, but it would have cost me a lot of money, like just to go and stand there and watch something that I could watch on a stream at home. That was truthfully what was in my mind. Um, and then anyway, I think I left secured, or I thought I had at the time. So I to a friend of my mum's, and I just said, look, is there any chance that your car, that your vehicle is, fit for the road? Because I know he was having a few bits done to it. So I was kind of like, do you think it'll be fit for the road? Do you think, you could go and, you do this little road trip? And then he was like, I'm at work at the moment, but I'll see what time I finish work. And he was on a farm and stuff. He was doing some stuff on a farm. So I was like, all right, no worries. I said, look, if you can't do it, it don't matter. It'd just be nice to go, show me face. It'd be nice to go and you know, it'd be nice to go and um just show me face and network kind of thing. that sort of thing. So I left it at that, and then I got a phone call from the bounce zone itself, and they rang me up and they said, "Look, a DJ's pulled out." Because at this point they thought I had this lift secured. I said, "Oh, I've got a lift coming, but we'll be coming a little bit later on." And he was like, "Oh yeah, cool," and I, and then they said, "Look, a DJ's pulled out. Would you, do you want to step in and play a set, like a non-vocally sort of bounce set? And do you want to, absolutely, just go on, let loose on the decks while the MCs tear it up on the mic?" And at this point, this changed the whole perspective, because I thought, hang on a minute, I can go here, I can go on the decks, and I can kind of show all these people what I'm about. I can go there and I can go and rip it up, and I can meet new faces, and they can actually see what I do, and it's not me just watching them anymore. So I thought, yeah, this, I really want to go to this now. I really want to do this. So I text my lift again, and I said, "Look, if things have changed now. A DJ's pulled out, and I've got a good chance of DJing. What time do you reckon we'd be leaving?" And then my lift got back to me and said, "Oh, I'm not going to leave the farm until 8 o'clock tonight. I'm sorry, a bit short notice." And anyway, I thought, oh, that's an absolute blow. So I had a little speak with a guy who runs the thing, and I decided that we come to an arrangement, and I decided that I'll get the train and the buses. I thought it's not too bad, the actual journey there. It's not a horrible situation. So I thought I'll do it. So here I go. So I went to Hull train station and got a bus to Selby, which wasn't too bad. I got to the bus station. I knew from going to Kettering last year, I knew sort of where to go in Hull for the buses. So I just went over and said, "Look, which bay is the bus? I'm going to Selby." And they said, "Oh, just in this queue here." The coach was already in the station, and they let us on in good time to sit, and we sat on this real big coach, which took us all the way to Selby. We got to Selby in all right time. I think it was only about a minute or maybe like 2 minutes late getting to Selby station. Got straight to the platform I needed to be on to continue on to Leeds, and the train were literally just more or less came as I sort of got to Selby. So I got sat on the train, and this train went all the way to Manchester. So we stopped in Leeds, and then just carried on to Manchester. So I just put my phone on charge. I just put my headphones in. This thing I was going to, it was live streamed, and it started at 5. I didn't get to the thing until about just after 6:30. But so I put the live stream on, had a little bit of a look what was popping off, and it was going off. There was MCs going in. There was DJ Kirby smashing up the decks with DJ Kuzki. I think his name was. I might be saying it wrong. But there was going in. There was playing some absolute weapons, and it was a really good vibe. But I kept losing signal going in and out of tunnels, and it was just one of them things, and eventually got to Manchester. Well, I say eventually, it didn't actually seem that long, but I got to Manchester. I was absolutely starving. I'd not eaten all day, and I'd been at a rave the night before, and I was on like 4.5 hours sleep. So I was really like ready for something to eat. But I got to Manchester, and you get to somewhere like Piccadilly that's it's busy. The really big like central stations. They get rammed, and the food places are really busy, and I just didn't have enough time to stand in a massive queue, order food at like Burger King and wait for it to be ready before I have to then get on the next train to go to Stockport. So I jump on the next train, and I'm not on the next train long at all. And I'm on it at like about 7 minutes at the most. You come out of Piccadilly and the next stop is literally Stockport. You just take a little like 5-6 minute ride, and you literally Stockport. It's a little bit like getting a train from Hull to Cottingham. You literally like go from like Hull, and you're literally not long before you're in Cottingham. The only difference is, I think, Manchester Piccadilly to Stockport is just ever so slightly longer. So I'd say a little more like maybe like going from Hull to Beverley or something like that. Probably about that length, but no like stations in between. Um, so it wasn't really long at all, and and then I got there for like 20 past 6 into Stockport, but well about 28 minutes past or something like that, and started walking towards the little studio place where it was, and this got there. Well, I got near there and I couldn't find it. It was like a real. So I rang them up, and luckily one of them came round and met me. Really good, really good, and just had a really fun time, which was really good. And yeah, just really enjoyed myself. Went in there and I was just blown away. It was like, if you've ever wanted to like go into a proper little like rush pit, like a proper donk den, then that was exactly what it was like. It was a really small room. It was really warm. You've got DJs just banging in like proper banging non-vocal bounds. You've got proper MCs just ripping in and going in and just ripping over it. You've got MCs that have done stuff at Sopranos. You've got loads of different MCs popping off, and it was just an amazing vibe. It was so good. It was really good to see and witness. The music was amazing. The MCing, like that, it's what it is. But there was loads of MCing, and I think it's the point where it was just getting a little bit like, all right, you've just babbled on and babbled on now with some of them. But it was a really, really good vibe still, and it was really good. So I went on at 8 o'clock. On the decks, B2B, and I forget who the name of the guy I went B2B with. Everything was just kind of in the moment. Absolutely smashed the set, and it was recorded live. It was live streamed onto like the Graveyard Shift, and there was loads of different streams popping off of this stream, which was really good, and it was just an amazing vibe. It was something so different. Um, because I had no bookings this weekend. It was a chilled weekend for me. Really thinking like, what am I gonna do? And obviously, originally when I was only going to watch, I was kind of debating like not to go, just because I thought, it's gonna be a bit much. Like, and by the time I get there, I'm not going to have much time. I didn't think, like, unless I went really early, and then like just had time to kill in Stockport, and I was a little bit unsure. And then when they sort of asked me to play, it sort of changed the perspective, and I thought I was more like, I wanted to go all along, but it was like I just knew like getting there was a bit of a pain, and I just thought, is it going to be worth it? But then when this was sort of like, do you want to play and stuff, and it made it a bit more worth it, I was like, right, I've got to go. And then that's why in the end, I was zooming and ahhing, and I come to an agreement, and I thought, I'm just going to do the train. So this is the score, let's do the train. And I did it. And had a really good time. Finished my set at 9 o'clock. The train to set off to come back was 9:34, which was that was really, so that was quite good, because it gave me enough like from the event finishing to get back to the station. And someone kindly gave me a lift back to the station, which was really good. Proper sound as well. And was really buzzed to meet me, and it just had a really, really good vibe, and everyone said I smashed the set, which was good. That was the aim. I wanted to smash it. I want to go somewhere and do well. Obviously, you do. So that was really good and positive. Coming back, however, was not so positive, and this is where I've got to do a little bit of a ramble and a rant. And I've got to say that train services in the UK are an absolute shit show. And I wish now at the time I'd done more to complain, and like and got like people's like names and numbers, like details to complain, because. but because it was a shit show what had happened. But because I was just like, so I was tired. I'd still not eaten, believe it or not. I hadn't eaten. I hadn't had chance to pick anything up to eat. So I was tired. I was hungry. I was quite thirsty, and I just like literally just wanted to get home. So everything was all fine and smooth. Got on at Stockport, no issues, no worries. Got back to Manchester Piccadilly, got back on at Manchester Piccadilly, no problem, no issues whatsoever. And then just literally went from Manchester Piccadilly to Leeds, no issues, no problem. Got back to Leeds exactly fine, and I thought, do you know what? I jinxed it because I thought everything is just going so well. Well, actually, I didn't jinx it. Someone else jinxed it because I was texting someone on the way back and I told them, look, when I get to Leeds, I'm going to have to get a bus. And they said, oh, a bus? Are you sure they're going to be running at this time? And then I said, it's a replacement rail bus. It's not like a normal service bus, so yeah, it'll be running. And anyway, we got back to Leeds. So I come off at Leeds, and then I go back to like the main where all the what do you call it? Where all the barriers are and stuff. And then I get find a rail guy and I say, look, I need to get one of the replacement buses. Where do I go for it? And he told me exactly where to go. Came upstairs, up some stairs, went to kind of like this other exit. And there was like a sign. It said replacement rail buses, and there was some people sat there. They were like, we're getting a bus, and they were going back to Selby. And then this woman that works at the station came and said, are you all here for the bus? And can you show us your tickets? And they let us through these like barriers. We went down some stairs, went outside, went and stood at a bus stop. And literally everything just was like almost like too good to be true. Like we're at a bus stop. There's a bus meant to be coming. This has all gone smoothly. But that was soon to all change when the bus didn't actually turn up. So the bus didn't turn up, or it was mega late, but it actually didn't turn up. But at the time we thought the bus is late. So the bus was supposed to come 20 to midnight, and it was supposed to pick us all up 20 to midnight. And then we got back to Hull at like 20 past 1 or something like that. Which stops off at like Brough stuff, which was all Selby, Brough, all of that good stuff. So we stood at the bus stops. I think there was another bus as well at another stop that was going somewhere else. And there was a train guy stood at the bus stops. He came over to our bus stop. It sounded real sound as anything, and said, buses aren't coming. We'll have to, you'll have to get a taxi. We'll have to get a taxi, and starts walking towards the station. So we think like, all right, this guy's going to take us to where we can get a taxi. He's in the same boat. There's a bus, bus that he was maybe going to get on. After his shift or something hasn't come, he's going to take us to where we can get a taxi. And anyway, it walked to the station, following him, and we get to the station, and then I go, oh, he goes to the doors, and they've actually locked these doors, and he goes, oh, the doors have locked. So he starts walking away again. And I think, oh, he's going to walk round to the other entrance, or he's going to sort something out for us. So we start following him again, and like, all right, come on, we've got to go back now. Everyone starts following. And then literally, he turns around. And I've never seen anybody, like, turn around and, like, talk to somebody, like, so nasty. It like the way he spoke, it was horrible. Like the tone in his voice was just so nasty. Like I've never known anybody like just to snap so much. Like, and he just turned around and he swore and he used the F word and he said, And he literally shouted and he said, what the F are you, what the F are you following me for? Why the F do you keep following me? And I'm like, well, hang on a second. You've come over to us and you've told us that the buses aren't coming. We have to get a taxi. So are you not taking us to get the taxis? We thought we was following you to get the taxis. And then he starts having a massive go like, I don't work for TransPennine Express. And then people are trying to explain to him, like, well, we didn't know that. You come and talk. And he's like, I don't work for TransPennine Express. And he was so nasty. He was so rude. Like the most rudest person that I have ever dealt with. I actually, like, I'm not a big person to condone violence. And I don't like fighting. It's not really my thing. But I actually wanted to hit him. I wanted to punch him. And I want to say, you ever speak to me with that attitude again, I will fucking destroy you. Because it really wound me up how nasty he got. Like, there was no need to be as nasty as he was. He could have dealt with that, like, so much more better. Like, he could have just politely said, like, you'll have to go around to the front of the station and speak to someone there. I don't work for, sorry, I don't work for TransPennine. Like we're supposed to know. He's there. He's got like real worker clothing on. He's come and told us that the buses aren't coming. So I just presumed he was going to help us. I thought he was the man who had come to say, look, we need to get taxis. He's going to take us round to the taxis because if you think about it, if the workers have realised, look, taxis aren't coming, you'd think like, well, hang on a minute, we better go and see if there's anybody waiting at the bus stops, who maybe are still thinking the bus is coming. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, like, you just think, it'd help us out. You can see there's loads of people stuck. It might not work for TransPennine, but at the end of the day, like, there's people stuck. You're part of the lead station. You're at the lead station. That the least you could do is at least just be nice and advise us where to go and tell us what to do. Not just snap at us and say you don't work for TransPennine and leave us stuck. Like, I'm not being funny. Like train drivers snap at you like that and then they strike and demand pay rises. I'm not being funny, but it's a joke. So anyway, we all walked round to the front of the station, and I wasn't the only one who wasn't happy with the way he spoke to us. Because he turned round and snapped at me. I was like in front of everybody, and I was like literally right behind him, walking back. Because I thought, he's going to ring someone for us or he's going to do something. So he literally snapped at me first and said, why do you keep, what are you fucking following me for? And I'm just, I was just so like, how dare you speak to me like that? That's what I was thinking, and I thought there's no need to be like that. So anyway, we walked round to the front of the station, and we went back inside, and we spoke to a guy, and then they took us to another guy who was like ringing up taxis and stuff. So we got the help in the end. But it was just the way he spoke to us. That first guy, which really peed me off. So after about 20 minutes of waiting for these taxis, maybe 25 minutes, taxis came. We got put in a taxi, and boom, we was on the way back to Hull, and everything was all fine and dandy. Everything just worked out. Mega fine. And it was all good. Everything, we got back to Hull. All was resolved in the end, And it wasn't the fact that, don't get me wrong, it was annoying the bus didn't come, and rail services are a joke. But what annoyed me the most, I'm not a person who normally gets wound up or gets angry unless I can't do something and it's stressing me out. But like normally I'm a pretty chilled out person. Things happen for a reason. I'm like, oh, worse things happen at sea. All right, the bus hasn't come. All I'm thinking is we're gonna get home because they've got to get us home. Do you know what I mean? So something will happen. We are just going to be stranded. There's a load of us. I felt more better that I was with a load of people, like trying to get back to the same place as well, and not just on my own. So I kind of felt a bit more better that way, and I just thought, yeah, we're going to get home. So like I don't normally really get stressed out and angry in situations because I think sometimes that doesn't help. If you're calm and smooth and you think, right, what's the next move, and you're gonna get home, so that's a good thing, and they have to help you. So that kind of helped. But the way he spoke, like that, made me want to get angry. You know, so uncalled for. So I don't know if he'd ever happen to see this because he ain't gonna click on something that says bounce zone. But if you do ever happen to clock onto this and say, oh, that's you're an idiot, mate. You don't speak to people like that. You could have just dealt with it so much better than snapping the way you did. You could have just politely told us you don't work for TransPennine, but go back round to the front of the station, or here, there's a number here, you can call this number. I don't work for TransPennine, but ring this number. It's not my job, this, really, but you can see people are stranded. Because that's what I'd do. Don't matter whether you work for somewhere or not. Like, if you can just pass somebody a number or tell them where to go, and they're stuck, like, why not help them? Instead of leaving them stuck. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of, like I say, what annoyed me. But luckily, luckily we got sorted in the end, which is like a good thing. Um, you know, oh, what the hell? Just played some music, sorry. Luckily we were sorted in the end and I got back home. But apart from that, what a day. Going there to that bounce zone thing, it opened up my eyes. It was a vibe, it was an atmosphere. It was something I'll always be grateful for. I feel like it was a good opportunity to network, to meet new people, people who are putting events on. They now have seen what I can do, and it's like, oh, and Bounce Zone, they already want me back for some events and stuff, which is a good thing. It's some more places to travel about to, and some things, to get among, and stuff like that. And it's really good. It's really positive. So that's all gravy. So I'm happy in that sense. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. I took some like little videos, like screen recorded some of the live stream. So I'll put that. I'll put some of the videos up on YouTube, and you can have a look how it went. If you go onto Facebook and search the Graveyard Shift, you can watch the whole live stream. I will warn you, it's like a 4 to 5 hour long thing. But if you skip it, like, to sort of like the last hour, you'll see me on the decks. But if you just want to have a little browse through some of it and listen to it, there's some great DJs, there's some great MCs popping off. Really good. Look, the sticker's still on the glass. Look, I ain't taking it off. Yeah, some really good DJs, MCs. Have a little listen. Check it out. Facebook.com/, The Graveyard Shift. You can also search Bounce Zone on Facebook as well, and you'll find them on there too. So make sure to like, comment, share. We'll see you soon.